You are born into silence, not the peaceful kind, but the silence of a tribe waiting to see if you will survive the night. It is 30,000 years ago, and the fire in the cave mouth is the only thing standing between your people and the dark outside. But you are different from the moment you take your first breath. The old healer who court you notices something in your eyes, a stillness that unsettles her. She does not smile. She simply nods, as if she already knows what your life will cost you. By the time you can walk, the whispers have started. Children who cry at shadows are told to look at you instead. The strange one, the quiet one, the one who sometimes stares at nothing for hours and then speaks of dreams that later come true. Your mother loves you, but even she keeps a careful distance, the way you might love a fire, warm, useful, but never entirely safe. The tribe does not choose its shaman. The tribe survives its shaman, or it doesn't survive at all, and that difference will define every year of your life. Your training begins before you understand what is being asked of you. The old healer takes you into the deep dark of the cave system, past where firelight reaches, and leaves you there. Not out of cruelty, out of necessity. A shaman who fears the dark cannot lead others through it. You sit alone for what feels like days, listening to water drip somewhere you cannot see, learning to separate the sound of your own fear from the sound of the world outside your skull. Some children who are taken into that dark never come back the same. A few never come back at all. You do come back, but something in you has been rearranged, and you are not sure it can be put back the way it was. The years that follow ask more of you than any hunter or gatherer in your tribe will ever be asked to give. When the rains fail, they look at you. When a child sickens with a fever no herb can touch, they look at you. When two hunters return carrying a third who did not make it home, they look at you, waiting for an explanation the world has not given you, expecting you to conjure meaning out of grief. You learn every plant in a day's walk, which roots ease pain and which ones stop a heart. You learn to read weather in the color of the sky and disease in the color of a person's eyes. You are expected to be right, and when you are wrong, the tribe does not forget. There are quieter trials too, the ones no one ever tells stories about. A hunting party goes out at dawn and does not return by dusk, and it falls to you to decide whether to send searchers into a forest that has already claimed men before, or wait and risk losing the trail by morning. A newborn refuses to nurse, and the mother looks at you with eyes that beg you to fix something you may not be able to fix. There is no council to share the decision with, no elder above you to overrule your judgment. Whatever you decide becomes the tribe's fate, and whatever happens afterward becomes, fairly or not, a reflection of you. Then comes the season that tests everything you have built. A sickness moves through the camp like fire through dry grass, taking the very old and the very young first, then reaching for the strong. The other members of your tribe turn to you with a desperation that has nowhere else to go. You spend your nights moving between sickbeds, trying remedies that sometimes work and sometimes do nothing at all, watching people you have known your whole life slip away despite everything you try. There is no manual for this. There is only you, your training, and the terrible weight of being the last thing standing between your people and total despair. Some nights you kneel outside the cave alone, staring at a sky full of cold stars, wondering if the spirits you speak to on behalf of your tribe are even listening, or if you have simply been carrying this burden by yourself the entire time, pretending otherwise so no one else has to feel the fear you feel. You stop counting the days by sunrises and start counting them by who is still breathing at dawn. Your hands, once steady enough to set a broken bone without flinching, begin to shake when you grind herbs in the dark, exhaustion wearing down the calm your training was supposed to give you permanently. You have been taught how to face the wilderness outside the camp. No one ever taught you how to face this, the slow, grinding erosion of watching your own limits meet a crisis that refuses to care about them. A hunter you have known since childhood begins to blame you when his son does not recover. Grief curdles into accusation, the way it often does in people who have run out of anywhere else to put their pain. He does not say the word aloud, but you can see it forming behind his eyes, the ancient, dangerous idea that maybe the shaman is not protecting the tribe, but cursing it. In a world without hospitals or explanations, that suspicion can be a death sentence. You have seen it happen to others in your role, in other camps, in stories passed down as warnings. Trust given to a shaman can turn to fear faster than any of them would like to admit, and fear in a small, desperate group of people can turn deadly. You do not run from it. You cannot. There is nowhere else for you to be, and no one else who can do what you do. So you keep tending the sick, keep reading the weather, keep speaking words of comfort you are not always sure you believe yourself, because the tribe needs to believe them even when you do not. Slowly, painfully, the sickness passes. More survive than die, though the losses leave scars that will not fade. The hunter who blamed you does not apologize, not directly, but the next time his family is unwell, he comes to your fire anyway, because in the end, need outlasts blame. You grow old in that role, carrying knowledge no one else in your tribe has, carrying grief no one else fully understands, standing at the edge of every crisis long after the crisis has become just another Tuesday of your existence. There is no retirement waiting for you, no younger shaman ready to take the burden while you rest by the fire and simply be an elder like anyone else. The tribe does not stop needing you because you are tired. It only stops needing you when you are gone. Younger eyes start watching you the way you once watched the old healer who raised you, with a mixture of awe and quiet dread, sensing that someday the weight will pass to them. You catch yourself studying them the same careful way she once studied you, looking for that same unsettling stillness, half hoping you do not find it in someone you love, half knowing the tribe cannot survive without finding it in someone. When you finally take a child into that same deep, silent dark, you understand at last what the old healer felt handing you into it. It was never cruelty. It was the only way anyone in that world learned to carry what could not be carried alone. You will never be remembered by name. No one in that camp writes anything down. But long after you are gone, your remedies will still ease someone's fever. Your read of the sky will still warn someone away from a coming storm, and the quiet steadiness you forced yourself to have in your worst nights will still be teaching people how to hold a tribe together when everything falls apart. That, in the end, is the strange, invisible inheritance of being born as a Stone Age shaman, not glory, not comfort, but the unbroken chain of people who learned, because of you, how to survive one more winter.